This is a video for the second 6 weeks SFA for the EOC review. All right, let's take a minute and let's look at this problem and see if we can figure out what it is. Let me see here if I can pull this out. Here's the question that goes with it. So take a minute, pause the video, and try and answer this question. Beatrice has $20 to spend at the laundromat, where it costs $1.25 for each load. Let M represent the amount of money she has left after washing L number of loads. Well, the money that she has equals, we take $1.25 times each load. Okay, now it says, what is M, the amount of money she has left after washing L loads of laundry? Right here, they want you to find the equation. That's what the equation is. But how much money, or how many loads can she do if she only has $20? Well, I can take $1.25. If you want to use X, you can do that, or L, and set it equal to 20. You'll divide by $1.25. And let's see what that is. Instead of me pulling out my calculator on the screen, I'm looking for mine here in my backpack. You'll take 20 divided by $1.25, and it gives you 16. So your answer is X equals 16. So she can do 16 loads. Next one. Okay, a lawnmower mechanic charges a $20 fee for looking at a broken lawnmower, then $15 per hour to repair it. Okay, so take a minute and write the equation. Right here, the amount, the total charge equals, first off, there is a $20 fee. This is a one-time fee. This is your constant. Then $15 per hour. So I'm going to have $15 times the number of hours plus 20. There's my equation. Now let's see what question they have. Oh, over here. What is the total cost of repairing a mower that takes H hours? Okay, so basically they just want us to write the equation, and this way you could find any of those answers. Let's see. There we go. Oh, my little pen doesn't seem to want to work here. All right, let's see here. Next, we've got this graph, and it says, what is the domain and the range of the function? Pause the video and see if you can figure that out. First off, my pen is freaking out here. Domain is X. Range is Y. So I'm going to have my X. My X is between two numbers. Now, if we think about what we did before, let's see, I can go up here. Oh, let's see if I can make some shapes. I thought I could up here. I don't know what happened to. Oh, there they are. All right. So let me make some shapes here. And click on it, and I'll make it, fill them in with some colors. All right, now I'm going to bring this up here, put it on this side, bring it over here. Then I'm going to go up here, block it in. Remember, maybe this will help jog some of y'all's memory. Now, my domain, when I go up here, my domain goes from left to right. It starts over here at -2, and it goes to +2. So it starts from -2 and goes to +2. I leave it with the equal signs because they are colored in dots. Now, so this is the domain. The range is the Y. Y goes up and down, so I've got my range. And it starts down here at -1. Okay, so and it's on the line, so it's equal to. And it goes up to 3. And it's on that colored in circle, so it's up to 3. That's your domain and your range. Okay, there's the next one. Why don't you pause the video and see if you can come up with the equation. Stacia started with $5 in her piggy bank and adds $2 each week. Let M represent the total amount of money she has after W weeks. Okay, so the amount of money she has equals, she starts with $5. That is a one-time amount. That's your constant. The thing that she keeps adding each time, that's your coefficient. So I'm going to have $2 for each week plus the $5 she started with. There's your equation. Next one. Let's see here. This question asks you, is it a function? Why or why not? Okay, so let's see. What does this mapping here mean? It means that I've got -2 and -1 go together. I've got 1 goes with 2. 2 goes with -1. See this right here? 2 goes up here to -1. And then I've got 3 and -6. Now, to make it for it to be a function, the x numbers cannot repeat. So right here, my x numbers, here, 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 and here. Those numbers do not repeat, so this is not, oh, I'm sorry, not, it is a function. Whew. It is a function. So yes, it is a function because the x numbers don't repeat. Next one. Well, here's the table. It says, what is the algebraic equation that fits this table? So let's go through and figure this out here. Figure out what's going on. It has this here, so I'm going to put in, it's got this equation, and I'm going to put in there -4, 0. And I'm not sure why we would fill in the whole thing. See, it already gives us our coefficient, and it gives us our constant. So I can have y equals 2/5 x plus 12. Because we know that the constant's the same all the way down, and so is, I'm sorry, the constant is right here, and the coefficient. Next one. What is the best equation? What equation best describes the relationship between x and y? So what it wants you to do is find the equation. So if I'm going to go up here, I don't have a whole lot of room in my process, so I'm going to build my table a little bit wider. -6, -2, 7, 11, then x. I've got 23, 11, -16, -28. Remember, this is x, then y. So I've got delta y. The change in y right here is -12. The change right here is negative, what is that? That's 11. -27. This one right here is -12. Well, let's see, delta x plus 4 plus 9 plus 4, and I'm going to take delta y over delta x. I get -12 over 4, which is -3, -27 over 9, which is -3. All right, these are the same, so that means that my data is linear. What does linear mean? It means it makes a line. So my coefficient is going to go right here, -3, -3, all the way down.
Thank you.
So right here we've got the coefficient, and you take it times your x. So now I've got -6, -2, -7, -11, and then I'll put in here negative x, or not negative x, x. Woo. All right, so now you're going to multiply these two numbers together, and I get -3 times 6 is positive 18. What do you have to add or subtract to get to 23? So 18 plus 5 is 23. Right here, this is 6 plus 5, and that's 11. This is my constant. So plus 5 goes all the way down. So my equation is y equals -3x plus 5. Here's my next one. It says complete the table. What is the rate of change? So right here we've got a line and we've got our table. First off, rate of change is delta y over delta x, which is the same as the coefficient. So right here, delta y, the change in y, is plus 2. Delta x is plus 6. So I'll take delta y over delta x, and I get 2 over 6. Now, the top is smaller than the bottom. This is a fraction. It reduces to 1/3. Now, as you go through and try and figure this out, like the next question I would say is, can you figure out the equation of the line from here? I know that this number right here is my y-intercept. I know that this is my slope. I know I have y equals mx plus b. M is your slope. B is your y-intercept. So I have y equals 1/3 x plus 2. So you start at 2, and what does the 1/3? The 1/3 tells you how to move. It tells you to go up 1, to the right 3. So I'll start here. I'll go up 1, to the right 1, 2, 3, put a dot. Oh, that's a dot on the line. Up 1, to the right 1, 2, 3. Up 1, to the right 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's how you can graph your line. Here's another one. What is the slope of the line? Okay, I always start right here at my y-intercept. And what I do is, first off, the line is increasing. Okay, so the line is increasing. So the slope is positive. When you are working with the slope, you go up or down first, then across. This is also known as rise over run, because rise you go up or down, run you go across. So starting right here, I'll go up 1 to the right 1. That is not on the line yet. I need to go over more, so I'm going to go up 1 to the right 2. Let's see if that works. Up 1 to the right 2. No, not quite. Let's find another dot. Let's see here. I'm trying to see if there's one as I follow the line up to it hits exactly on. Let's look at this. This one looks like it hits pretty well. I'll find this dot right here. So now I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4 over. So up 4 and over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 over 7. Up 4 over 7. Here is my slope. Next one. Does the graph represent discrete or continuous data? Okay, discrete is certain numbers. The graph will just have dots. Continuous means it has all real numbers, fractions, and everything else in it. And it's going to be a line. Well, in this, I know we started a dot, but this is a line connecting all these points in between 2 and 3, like 2.9, 2.99999. This data is continuous. Next, there's 2 points, and it says, what is the equation of the line through the 2 given points? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build my table and give myself some room. I have 8, 0, and 0, 4. X, then Y. Delta Y, the change in Y, plus 4. Delta X, I'm going down, it's minus 8. So I have delta Y over delta X, which is the same as the coefficient, also called the rate of change. It's your slope. It is the letter M. All right, so there's all different names for the same thing. So I have 4 over negative 8. Again, this is a fraction. The top is smaller than the bottom. When I reduce it, I get negative 1/2. That is my rate of change. So I'm going to put, let's go up here, I'm going to put in there negative 1/2, negative 1/2. Remember, it's the coefficient times my letter X. And so I've got, this is multiplied by 8, and this is multiplied by 0. Then you have to figure out what you need to add or subtract to get your constant. Well, right here, you multiply these two together. I always do 0. It's easy because anything times 0 is 0. What do you have to do to 0? What do you have to add to 0 to get to 4? Plus 4. So my equation is y equals negative 1/2 x plus 4. Now, let's review and remember. This is my slope, and this is my y-intercept. So if I went to go graph it, I would start at positive 4 and put a dot. And my slope, it says negative 1/2. That tells me to go down 1 to the right 2. So I start here and I go down 1 to the right 1, 2. Down 1 to the right 1, 2. Now my line is decreasing because my slope is negative. Okay. All right. First off, we're going to go through and try and figure out how to find these missing values. Up here, this is my X. The easiest thing to do is, there's one of a couple ways. Let me go through and let's do this by hand. I've got 3/2 X minus 4. Whoops, let's see here. See if I can move or if they're attached. Okay, it's all locked together. All right. So I can do 3/2 times X. X is 14 minus 4. Okay, well, when you take 3/2 times 14, you get, these can't, 2 goes into 14 7 times. 7 times 3 is 21 minus 4. And so I get 17. My answer right here would be 17. Now, the other way you could do this is to go in your calculator, go into Y1, put 3/2 X minus 4 in there, go and look in your table to where X is 14, and you will find your Y number. That's the other way. You can do that here on this one as well. I go in there, and this time it's giving me my Y. I get negative 25, and I need to find my X number. Or to work it out by hand, I have 3/2 X minus 4 equals negative 25. Let me write that in a different color. Negative 25. Now I can go and try and solve it. I will add 4 to each side. I get 3/2 X equals negative 21. Now you need to multiply by the reciprocal. 2 over 3. 2 over 3. That cancels these out. So I get X. Now 3 goes into 21. So now I have negative 7 there. Negative 7 times 2 is negative 14. So my answer, my X number, is negative 14. But you can either do it by the calculator or by hand. Here's another one. What is the equation of the line graphed? Well, first off, let's look at this. Right here, this with the y number being 0, that's on this axis right here. This is your x-intercept, and it crosses right here at 5, 0. Then I have 0 something. That's your y-intercept because it's going to have a number in the y. So I go up here, there it is, and it is at 5. Now, to figure it out, you can do this a couple ways to find the equation. First off, I already have my y-intercept, so I have y equals, I don't know the slope, times x, but I know it's plus 5 because the y-intercept comes right here. Now, how many down? I go down 5, negative 5, and over 5. So my slope is negative 5 over 5, which is negative 1. So I can write it like this, or I can write it as y equals negative x plus 5. Next one. What is the domain or range of this function? Okay, well, let's remember domain is x and range is y. So let me start with the x. It's in between. It's going to, my x numbers is going to start over here, right here at negative 3. So I've got negative 3. Because it's an open circle, I leave this alone. Then I go over here, and it goes all the way over here to 1. At 1, there's a closed circle, so I write an equal to. Now my range is the y, so there's my y. My y goes up and down, so we start all the way down here at negative 3. So I have negative 3, and there's an equal to bar because it is a closed dot. And it goes all the way up here to 2. And there's an open circle there, so I leave it with just the less than symbol. Here's the next one. Is the function proportional? Well, what does proportional mean? Proportional, there's your hint. It means it goes through 0, 0, or the origin. It means the constant is 0. Well, right here, these two things mean the same thing. Remember that f of x and y equals means the same thing? So these are both the same things. Now, what is the constant? What's out here at the back? There it says negative 3x. This is my coefficient or my slope. And then there's nothing here. It's plus 0. So yes, they are proportional. Next one. Is the function linear? What does linear mean? Linear means make a straight line. And we can see that this thing goes woo, like that, goes crazy. It is not linear. Next. 5 friends went out to eat together. Each meal costs the same. The total cost of the dinner out varies directly with the cost of one meal. Okay, varies directly. Direct variation. What that means is proportional. And say that all the meals, say the total, there was five friends, and the bill was $40. Well, you would take 40 divided by 5, and that equals, whoops, too many little equal things, equals 8. $8 each. It is proportional because everybody pays the same amount. So, yeah, what is the direct variation equation? Well, you can't really tell what the equation is because it doesn't give you how much the meals were. But this would be proportional. Proportional means the same as direct variation, and you'd be y equals, and then whatever the dinner cost, and then x. Okay, so right here, you would put in there what the dinner cost. Next. Is the graph a function, and is it linear? Well, first off, is it linear? Is it a straight line? No. But is it a function? A function means that the x numbers do not repeat. Remember, there's also the vertical line test. So if I go and draw a vertical line, whoa, that's not a vertical line. Ooh, my pen went crazy. I go and I draw a vertical line, draw it straight down. It's only going to touch in one spot. It's only going to touch my graph in one spot. So yes, it is a function because it only touches in one spot, but it's not linear. It doesn't make a straight line. Here's the next one. What is the meaning of f of x? Well, I mean, f of x is the same as y equals. It's just asking, what does the function mean when, what is the function when you get a certain number that's supposed to be x? So what am I trying to say? All right, well, say that I've got f of 2. What is f of 2? Let's do it that way. What is f of 2? It means that I'm going to take f of 2, and I'm going to put 2 in for wherever the x is. So 2 plus 6. So I get 4 plus 6, so it equals 10. So another example would be f of 10 of this right here for this equation. Well, I've got my y number. Really, it's like saying y equals, let's see, 2 times 10 plus 6. 2 times 10 is 20 plus 6, so it equals 26. This one, let's see here. Okay. It says list at least 3 true statements about the range. Well, first off, what letter is the range? The range is the y. So if I look at the y on this graph, I would say the largest range number is 5. I could say that. I could say that, and this goes down on forever. I could say that the range is y is less than or equal to the top number here, 5. Because after that, it keeps going down, 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 and goes on to infinity. I could say y, and I'd make my notation like this. Say that it starts up here at 5, and it's equal to that. And it goes all the way to infinity. Those are just some statements you could use. We'll come back and do some of these other videos a little bit later on.